telling us is 9 hours on, officials are still present at Manish Sisodia's residence. They're now searching his car. They're looking for certain documents. No sign of them leaving just yet. But Akash, I also want to now talk to you about the reaction as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. Earlier in the day, we'd seen some protesters who had gathered outside Manish Sisodia's residence who were eventually detained. Are you seeing any more workers outside his residence now? Akash, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, Ridhima.
Akash, could you talk to us about what is happening around you? We saw those visuals of the agency officials searching Manish Sisodia's car. Are they now leaving his residence?
So, as of now, no, but yes, they were definitely looking for some sort of document inside the car, and this car belongs to Manish Sisodia. This is what we have learned, and they were basically looking for some sort of document inside the car. This is what we were seeing. At this point in time, there is no info as to by what time they'll be leaving, but 9 hours and we are still counting. This is what I mentioned earlier, in fact, Ridhima, that they are still, investigating in this particular case where an FIR has already been registered and Manish Sisodia is in fact one of the accused. And, it is all after the recommendation that were made by LG. VK Saxena in the month of July, where he mentioned that some sort of financial quid pro quo happened, and that's the reason why he recommended CBI probe into this particular matter. And after that, we saw on and off developments related to politics in this particular case. But now today, this is the major development where starting from 8 a.m. CBI officers are basically have reached this particular place. CBI officers have reached Manish Sisodia's residence, and this is not the only place. 21 locations are being searched as of now, and we are seeing on and off activities inside this particular house. But we are still expecting that in some time from now, you can say 1 hour or 2 hours, that CBI officers would be leaving with some sort of documents. We can expect some sort of seizure as well. True. But still we haven't got any sort of confirmation about it.
Okay, so no signs of the CBI officials leaving just yet. Searches happening as far as Manish Sisodia's car is also concerned. Let me bring in Ananya in the conversation as well. Ananya, as you've been talking to our viewers, that a game plan, a legal plan is already being readied because the Aam Aadmi Party is saying we expected this. What are you picking up by the means of sources or legal experts? Who all are having conversations with Aam Aadmi Party as of now?
Well, yes, Ridhima, before that, I'll take you through the chronology of events, what has happened so far. First of all, the Cabinet Secretary, the Chief Secretary has given out a file to the LG office in which various discrepancies were cited, and it was said that this policy has in fact damaged the public exchequer to a larger level, and there are irregularities into it, following which the LG writes to the Home Ministry seeking a CBI probe into this matter, in fact recommending a CBI probe into this matter. Afterwards, we saw that a preliminary inquiry was conducted by the Central Bureau of Investigation, and then FIR, that is a regular case, were registered into this particular case, and today searches have been conducted, 9 hours, 21 locations still continuing, the searches are still continuing, and as Akash was pointing out, they are trying to search for documentary evidence, because remember, in cases of CBI and ED wherein these special agencies are involved, they have special powers to arrest, but to justify that arrest they have a higher threshold as well, because they have to certify when they go before the court and produce the accused, they have to show that there is a documentary evidence available, there is a reasonable evidence to believe that the person is guilty of something and has done something wrong. So this is what the challenge before the CBI are, and hence they are trying to make the searches perfect, pitch perfect. But now what the legal option, as far as the legal options are concerned, we've broken it down first for our viewers that the Aam Aadmi Party is in constant touch with Mr. Kapil Sibal, senior advocate, 50 years of legal experience, a legal baron, a name in his own. He's been consulted. One meeting has already been held. Various deliberations were on with regards to the laws relating to which Mr. Sisodia can be booked under, and the charges on which he can be booked under, and what is the legal route possible for him to be taken out, and what can be the legal strategy and the way forward. And not only Mr. Sibal, but definitely remember senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who has represented the Aam Aadmi Party government in various matters, including that of the petitions challenging the new excise policy of the Delhi government before the Delhi High Court. Mr. Singhvi had represented the Delhi government, and in fact he also is very well versed with this new liquor policy of the Delhi government, so he might also be consulted with Mr. Sibal, it's very confirmed. The sources have confirmed to us one meeting has already been held. Various lacunas of law and in fact the legal propositions have already been discussed with, and a way is being taken forward as to what should be done legally, because ultimately it's the court of law where all of this would land into a trial, or would the case of the CBI would fall flat, while the CBI would try to in fact make a watertight case against Mr. Sisodia would turn out to find the best possible defense into the particular case against the CBI's prosecution.
Okay, Ananya, I'll request you to stay on with us. I quickly want to go back to our colleague Akash, who continues to get us those visuals from Manish Sisodia's residence. Akash, I just want to point out to some details that you were bringing to us a short while ago, that Manish Sisodia continues to be at his residence, but electronic devices have been taken away from him. Any more details that you're picking up on those lines?
So this is what we are picking up from our sources within the Aam Aadmi Party, Ridhima. And also let me tell you that just a few minutes back I was showing you the visuals where CBI officers were basically giving it a check, giving that car a check. They were looking for some sort of documents on. Also we saw that how the officers took out some sort of documents from that car and have taken those documents. So at the end of the day we are expecting some sort of seizures from this particular place, but also we are learning that Manish Sisodia would not be arrested at this point in time, because agency would be calling Manish Sisodia in case it is required. And also 9 hours is still counting. This is what we are telling again and again to our viewers, because this all started at the 8 a.m. In the morning, and since then we are seeing that how political developments are unfolding, and a war of words between Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP, where both the parties are alleging each other, and also BJP is saying that this is a kind of loot that Aam Aadmi Party is involved in. On the other hand, we are seeing that all the top brass of the Aam Aadmi Party are basically they are holding press conferences again and again, and they are somewhere saying that on one hand we have our achievement where an international publication has talked about our education model, and on the other hand we have CBI which is very much present at the residence of Manish Sisodia, who is the education minister as well.
Correct.
And
so the narrative that's coming in from the
trying
Aam
to frame
Aadmi
him
Party
as well.
is that this is just vendetta politics and a witch hunt, and this is something that we've heard from them in the past as well, that central agencies are being misused. I'll just request my colleagues